Good morning, dear students. Today we will be learning from first unit supplementary. The topic for the supplementary is on Monday morning. Okay, now I want to ask you some questions. On Monday morning, this supplementary is exactly for the students of 7th standard. I hope so. So here we will see who is the author. On Monday morning is adapted from the Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Thomas Sawyer is the title character of Mark Twain novel. Tom Sawyer is a boy of about 12 years of age who resides in the fictional town of St. Petersburg in about the year 1845. This is an imagination of Mark Twain. He has written as though he was living in 1845. So here we see the characters. First we see here, these are the characters: Tom Sawyer, Sid, that is Tom Sawyer's brother, and he has a cousin, her name is Mary, and they live with his aunt. Our aunt is in charge of all of them, that is, her name is Polly. So you come across 4 characters in this supplementary. So I will read the supplementary and I will explain it to you. Monday morning found Tom Sawyer miserable. Monday morning always found him so because it began another week slow suffering in school. He generally began that day with wishing he had no holiday in between. It made the going into prison again so much worse. So here we find how this Tom Sawyer, he feels Monday as very he is not up to the thing, up to the mark of going to school. All the children, I would like to ask a question. You are all in 7th standard. You love Monday or you love the weekend? Maybe Friday or Saturday. Which one do you like? Which day do you like? Most of them or some of them would give an answer saying Monday. Some might say the weekend days, maybe Friday or Saturday. Whichever day the school is winding up for the weekend. Because you love to stay at home, play with your friends, have a jolly time instead of writing, learning, all that. Understand? Same thing we see in this supplementary. Here Tom Sawyer, he found some excuse or the other. He doesn't want to go to school. He wants to stay at home. He thinks Monday found him because he began another week. The whole week he has to go to school. He has to learn, he has to write, he has to be just with school hold work. So this he doesn't like. So that's what we have read this lesson. So he says here, wishing that No holidays in between. He doesn't like any holidays in between. It has to go on with a full swing without any weekend. So here we find 3 reasons he quotes in this supplementary for not going to school. He wants 3 excuses. He has given 3 excuses, maybe many more, but here we find only 3 excuses that he doesn't want to go to school, and he wants to say this excuse to his brother, cousin, his aunt, and he wants to stay away from going to school. Tom lay thinking. Presently it occurred to him that he wished he was sick. Then he could stay home from school. He examined himself. No sickness was found, and he investigated again. This time he could detect stomach ache, but it soon grew feeble and presently died wholly way. He reflected further. Suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. This was lucky. He was about to begin to groan as a starter, as he called it, when it occurred to him that if he came into court with that argument, his aunt would pull it out, and that would hurt. So he thought he would hold the tooth in reverse for its present and set further. So here you find some hard words: feeble, very weak, argument, quarrel, reasoning. Seek, adapt to, find, search for. Tooth. Tooth is singular, teeth is plural form. So for all these hard words, you have found the meaning. And here what it says here is, here we see, as I have written on the board, first he wanted to complain of stomach ache. Second, of his loose tooth. Third, an injured toe can keep him on his bed for even 3 weeks. If there is any injury on his toe, it is really difficult for a child or a boy to wear the shoes and go to school, because he has to walk about, run about, play during the PT hours and all that. So he had to carry his backpack, he has to carry his books. So he will find it really difficult. So with his imagination, okay, he is on his bed and he just thinking of some excuse or the other. So he jots out, or he just illustrates all these 3 excuses that he doesn't want to go to school. So we will see the next paragraph. Nothing offered for some little time, and then he remembered hearing the doctor tell about a certain thing that laid up a patient for 2 to 3 weeks and threatened to make him lose a finger. So the boy eagerly drew his sore toe from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. But now he did not know the necessary symptoms. It seemed worthwhile to chance it. So he fell groaning with considerable spirit. But Sid slept on unconscious. Tom groaned louder and fancied that he began to feel pain in the toe. No result from Sid. So now we find here this Tom Sawyer. Tom is on his bed, and with him his brother is sleeping, that is Sid. And this fellow starts, he just has some imagination of some excuse or the other that he doesn't want to go to school. So here we find, we have seen all these three, and we find here that he says he has some kind of what he hears from the doctor when he had gone to the doctor, that he hears if you have some leg pain or the other for 2 to 3 weeks, what you cannot go out, or you have to lose your finger. He has to lose his toe. He hears this. So with that he gets scared. My goodness, if I say something or the other to my aunt, then she will take me to the doctor, then it will be that I will lose my toe. In this way, he is really scared of telling this to his brother and to his aunt. So, but now he did not know the necessary symptoms. So, he did not know all that. Here, threatened means in danger. You are at risk. Symptoms, that is the indication. Then you find here worthwhile, valuable. Then considerable, you are considered. Then fancied, you want the desire or you want it. So in this way, he makes himself groaning, murmuring. He is in pain. Oh, what to do? I don't know how to come out of this. Can someone just help me out? I am struggling with this pain. He is just groaning with this pain. So, but he tries to do all this while sleeping, but it is of no use. No result from Sid, who's sleeping beside him. Sid, that is his brother. He is just fast asleep. He doesn't know what is happening to Tom Sawyer. Tom was panting with his exertion by this time. He took a rest and then swelled himself up and fetched a succession of admirable groans. Sid snored on. Tom was aggravated. He said, "Sid, Sid," and shook him. This course worked well, and Tom began to groan again. Sid yawned, stretched, then brought himself up on his elbow with a snort and began to stare at Tom. Tom went on groaning. So here the hard words are panting, quick breaths, exertions, struggle, groans, murmur, snored, grunting sound while sleeping. While sleeping, you just bring out some sound, something different. So these are the ones. So here we see Tom was panting, but Sid did not hear. Why? Sid was very fast asleep, snoring. Whatever was happening to Tom, he didn't hear anything. He was so fast asleep, whatever he was murmuring, grumbling, doing all kind of things, Sid did not hear. Then what happened is, he said, somehow he thought, oh my goodness, Sid is not getting up. So what the storm did, he just called him, Sid, Sid, and shook him. Understand? And what happened was, again Tom began to groan again. Sid, find out what he did, he yawned, big yawn, he stretched out his hand, and then what he said, he just kept his elbow and he started snorting. Then he began to stare at Tom. He just looked into his eyes. Then he asked, Sid asked Tom. Tom went on groaning. He is in pain. Understand? He is pretending, he is acting like that. But Sid was not responding because he was fast asleep. Then he shook him. Somehow he got up. He yawned. He stretched out his hand. And then he just relaxed. And after he was relaxed, and then he asked some questions. We will read that. Sid said, Tom. Say, Tom. No response. Here, Tom. What is the matter, Tom? And he shook him and looked in his face anxiously. Tom mourned out, oh, don't, Sid. Don't shake me. Why? What's the matter, Tom? I must call Auntie. No, never mind. It will be over by and by, maybe. Don't call anybody. So now Sid got up, I said no. So Sid got up and he says, Tom, Tom. So now Tom is not giving any response. So he says, here Tom, hey, come on man, I'm next to you. What happened? What's the matter with you? And he shook him, looked in his face anxiously. So what Sid did? He shook Tom and he just looked on his face anxiously. Means what? Eagerly. What happened? Why? He's just staring at his face. Tom whined. That means what? He complained. What did he complain? He said, hey, don't shake me, man. Why? What's the matter? Just call Auntie. Call Auntie. Polly Auntie, you call. Oh, no, never mind. It will be over by now. Maybe it will be over. Don't worry, man. Don't do anything. Okay, fine. Just leave that. Don't call Auntie also. They just have a conversation and they just come out of that conversation. Okay, leave it, man. Somehow or the other, I will manage. But I must. Don't groan so, Tom. It's awful. How long you been this way? Hours. Ouch. Oh, don't stare so. Sid, you will kill me. Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner? Oh, Tom, don't. It makes my flesh crawl to hear you. What is the matter? So here we see this. He says, don't tell me, man. It's so awkward. Okay? How long you have been suffering, man? How long you have been groaning in you, murmuring in you? How long this was? So Tom says, go, man. This was for about many hours. I have been struggling with this. Only you didn't hear. Okay. So you will be killed. What he says? Sid says, oh, with this pain? Oh, you are going to die. Something is going to happen. Your agony, your pain is so painful. It is something beyond the limit. You are murmuring, you are groaning by yourself. So Tom said, why don't you wake me sooner? Oh Tom, don't. My flesh crawl. That means what? I was so frightened to hear this matter from you, so I didn't want to wake you up. I forgive you for everything, said Sid groaned. Everything you have ever done to me, I'm going to go. So here he says, oh my goodness. Sid says, okay man, somehow or the other, I'll forgive everything. Sid is saying, I don't know man, I'm going to something is going to happen to me. I don't know what to do. Whatever I have done, please forgive me. Oh Tom, you aren't dying. Now Tom is saying, Sid is saying, hey Tom, you are not going to die man. This is just a pain. Just you are murmuring. This pain will be relieved from you. Don't be upset that you are going to die. He is just confessing to his brother, if I have done something wrong to you, please forgive me. I am in a state of dying. That's what he says here. So, don't worry man, you will live long. This is just a matter. Just then that pain, then it will vanish. It won't be there. You will be all right. I forgive everybody, he said. Tell him so, Sid. And Sid, you are my window sash and my cat with one eye to that new girl that comes to the town and tell her. So he says here, you just tell this to everybody. I've forgiven. So tell that window fame, there is a cat there. And you can see a new girl comes there and you tell her that I have forgiven everyone, including you, whoever come across, you just tell them that I have forgiven everyone, everybody I have forgiven. Why? Because he is scared of that pain. He is scared that he will die. But Sid had snatched his clothes and gone. Tom was suffering in reality. Now his imagination was working well. So his groans had gathered quite a genuine tone. So here we see Sid has snatched, grabbed, taken all his clothes from Tom. Why? He was suffering in reality and now his imagination is working well. And his groans, the pain, murmuring had gathered, genuine tone means what? Gathered many honesty, with honesty he has done, people have gathered there. Okay, the new girl has come, Sid is there, Mary, his cousin is there, all are there by his imagination of acting as though he has got some hurt. Understand? So we see the next thing. Sid flew downstairs and said, oh, Aunt Polly, come. Tom's dying. Dying? Yes, ma'am. Don't wait. Come quick. Rubbish. I don't believe it. But she fled upstairs, nevertheless, with Sid and Mary at her heels. So we find here, Sid, what he does, he just went upstairs to call his aunt to see what happened to Tom, because he is in a state of dying. Understand? So what happened? His aunt, oh my goodness, she comes down and she sees, Tom, you are dying? Oh my goodness, you are dying. Wait, come quick. So she comes after listening to Sid. She comes down and she sees. and she says, my goodness, it is rubbish, nuisance man. Okay, I cannot believe that he is going to die. So somehow she comes down. With whom she comes? She comes with Sid and Mary. Okay, she was on her heels means what? She was so fast on her foot, and she came down to see Tom. And her face, whose face? Aunt's face, Aunt Polly's face grew white too, and her lip trembled. When she searched the bedside, she said, you, Tom, what's the matter with you? And she comes down and sees him. Her face became white, you can say, like a pale, with a excited thing, or with something unusual, understand? She was wanting to say, what happened to her? What happened to him? In that sense, she had seen him, and somehow or the other, her lip started to tremble. Trembled means shake in voluntarily. Voluntarily, you just stammer, you just do your lip like that, understand? And she reached the bedside and said, Tom, what happened? He is on his bed now. She just went closer to him. Tom, what's the matter with you? What happened? Why are you saying that you are going to die? What's wrong with you? She just asked questions. Oh, auntie, what's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, child? So he says, oh, auntie, and he just keeps silent. And then this Aunt Polly, what she says, what's the matter with you, child? What happened? Why are you like this? Why? What's wrong with you? Then he says, oh, auntie, my sore toes dying. I have a sore toe on my foot. Understand? So injured toe. So with this, I am feeling very bad and I have pain. I don't know what to do with that, he says. Next, the old aunt sank down into a chair and laughed a little, then cried a little, then they both together. This made her feel better and said, Tom, what a turn you did give me. Now you shut up that nuisance and climb out of this. So she says here, she is an elderly person, understand? He is around 12 years, Tom is around 12 years. Definitely, the elder people, they will know when the boy is acting or purposely he is doing, or it is real by the face expression and with the tone. Definitely, elder people will come to know what the child is doing, or they will read the mind of a child. So that's what this Aunt Polly has seen, or she has read the mind of Tom. Understand? So he is very mischievous boy. Everyone knows. See how he is acting. 3 incidents is he has created, and he doesn't want to go to school. So when she heard that his toe is injured, so what happened? Her heart, what happened? The old lady sank down into a chair. She read his mind. What she did? She just sank down on a chair and laughed a little. She started to laugh. Okay, whatever mischievous thing he was doing, she couldn't control. She read the mind of the boy, Tom, and she bursted out with a laugh. and then she cried a little, then did both to cry, both together, laughed, cried, together she did. This made her feel better and she said, so okay, she just sat down on the chair and this fellow started doing all this. Tom, what a turn you did gave me. Now you shut up that nonsense and climb out of this. So she says, hey, come on, come out of the bed. Why are you doing all those nonsense things? And you are just giving excuse or the other that you don't want to go to school. Come out of that, climb out of this. So that means what? You come out of the bed and stop with your nonsense. Because of this, all the people at home are getting so tensed up. So the groans stopped and the pain vanished from the toe. The boy felt a little foolish and he said, Aunt Polly, it seemed dying and it hurt so I never minded my tooth at all. So he says, finally he says, he stopped groans. That means what? Murmuring, he stopped. Then his pain had what happened? Just left him from the toe. The boy, that is who? Tom felt little foolish. What a thing I have done. I fooled my aunt, I fooled my brother, I fooled my cousin. All this I have done. So he said, Aunt Polly, it seemed dying and it hurt so. I never minded my tooth at all. I forgot my tooth pain, he says. I gave stress on the injured toe, but I really completely, what I did? I forgot about my tooth pain, toothache. I really forgot that. I didn't mind. I never minded. Okay. So your tooth indeed, what's the matter with your tooth? Now the aunt is asking, what man? First you said injured toe. Now you are saying toothache. What happened? What's wrong with you, with your tooth? She asked him question. One of them is loose and it aches perfectly awful. One of my tooth is very very loose. That means it's shaky. Understand? And it is really awful. Understand? So here we see singular form for tooth. Singular is tooth. Teeth is plural form. So one of his tooth, that is one tooth, is shaky. It is not perfect, it is loose. And it aches perfectly. Really it pains. Understand? I don't know what to do with this. There. Now, don't begin that groaning again. Open your mouth. Well, your tooth is loose, but you are not going to die from that. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. So she says, okay, she just examines his tooth. Really, she sees that his tooth is a bit loose, and because of that, he has pain in his tooth and he cannot chew or do anything like that. He cannot eat. So with this, he has some problem or the other in his mouth. So what she does is, she makes, already he is on his bed. So what she does is, what his Aunt Polly does is, she wants to examine Tom. So she says, okay, now don't begin to groaning. That means what? Don't start murmuring, man. Just be calm. Open your mouth. He opens his mouth. So meanwhile, what she does is, she tells Mary, go and get a silk thread and a chunk of fire from the kitchen. So this little Mary, cousin, what she does? She runs into the kitchen, she gets a chunk of fire, and she gets silk thread. So here we see Tom said, "Oh, please, auntie, don't pull it out. Don't hurt anymore. I wish I may never stir with it. It does. Please don't, auntie. I don't want to stay home from school." "Oh, you don't you?" So all this row was because of you had thought you'd get to stay home from school and go fishing. Tom, I love you so. And you seem to try even every way you can go to break my old heart with your mischief. But this time the dental instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk thread fast to Tom's tooth with a loop and tied the other to the bedpost. Then she caught hold of the chunk of the fire and suddenly pushed it almost into the boy's face. The tooth was hanging loosely by the bedpost now. Okay, now here in this paragraph, as I write, what you see here is, or what you are going to listen is, so with this, that Mary, cousin, she gets a silk thread and a chunk of fire. So with this, what this Aunt Mary does is, she examines his mouth. Then she comes to know that he is giving some excuse or the other that Tom doesn't want to go for school. He wants to go out for fishing. Understand? So with this lame excuse, he is been giving for past all these days and he didn't go to school. The old lady's heart, what happened? Just broke, understand, with this mischievous things of his Tom. And by the time they kept all these dental instruments ready, and with a silk thread they made a loop, understand, and tied to the bedpost. In the four corners of the bed they had a bedpost, they had tied, and with a chunk of fire she just pushed into his mouth and saw the loose tooth and tried to pull out that, understand, hanging loosely tooth was to be pulled out. So with this, what I want to tell you is, you as a student or as a little boys, always we want to give some excuse or the other, and we want to stay at home and not go to school. We feel so bored up of going to school. This is not relevant for all the boys, but especially some fellows, they don't enjoy coming to school. But here what I want to tell you is, in this age of 12 years, you all might be 12 or 13 years in 7th standard, enjoy your school life and spend lots of your days in school atmosphere. You learn new things and really you can accomplish big things in your life. So here I have written some synonyms. Here some meanings are there. Miserable, unhappy, sad. Occurred means happened, panting means breathing quickly. All this I have already told you when I was reading the lesson. Excretions, effort, aggravated, irritated. Loop means curve, anxiously means tensionally. Okay, so with this I have completed the supplementary for you, and you just read the lesson and just go through this. This will be a very interesting supplementary for you.